I bring the tripod back over my shoulder, wincing some as the metal pushes against my collarbone. There wasn't really much left of the old post office, but getting some B-roll of it seemed obligatory with the Pony Express history here and such. As long as I have lots of filler footage to accompany my voiceover, I should be fine. I think it'll probably look a lot better than most of what the rest of the class will present, though that's not a very high bar to surpass. Most probably wouldn't dare work over their spring break. So, why the hell am I? I close my eyes, letting my legs lead the way as I step through the tall grass and back onto the dirt road. It's hot today, way hotter than it usually is in late spring. Everything is kinda hazy, too. Like there's a wildfire air blowing downwind through echo. Those usually drive my allergies nuts, but so far, I'm not feeling too stuffed up or itchy. As screw up as it sounds, I always kinda liked when there was a big fire in state. I mean, sure, it sucks sneezing all the time and having my nose feel scratchy, but I love the burning smell. It reminds me of barbecues. It doesn't smell like that now, though that does remind me. I pull up my phone. It's 10:03 a.m. Jenna texted earlier. Chase, Leo wants to set up his grill at the hill behind your house. Around early afternoon, I think. If you want to stop by, you can. When we were kids, sometimes my dad would let us roll our little charcoal grill up there and try cooking ourselves. My dad always said it was to keep a wide buffer between us and the house so we didn't accidentally burn the place down. After Flynn set a bush on fire in our backyard during Labor Day, I kinda understood the sentiment. I exhale, shoving my phone back into my pocket. Interesting, Leo decided to schedule it when Flynn is still working. I bring my thumb and forefinger above my muzzle and press at the space between my eyes. I sniff, smelling the faint scent of musty ash that seems to cling to my fur even after the shower I took this morning. And, just like that, my blood seems to cool. I get that weird, stuttering feeling you have in your heart when you remember something you don't want to. Last night doesn't seem real. I can't believe shit like that exists, just past where I grew up. How long has that place been around? It doesn't even have a name. I searched the address and some more when I got home, but I didn't find anything online. I mean, I've been in gay bars before up in Peyton, usually because some girl I'm friends with drags me there. But nothing quite like that. At least Daxton seemed to not hate it completely by the time we left. Turns out the middle-aged horse guy was an old dastry, the term for people who really like Ad Astra. Daxton and him hit it off pretty well while I was away. Carl, meanwhile, was already passed out in my car by the time we got back. It was an awkward car ride home. A strange sense of sad nostalgia takes hold of me as I approach the faded white, old brick structure that was my home. The white picket fence that surrounded the exterior is all but gone now. The few remaining posts are scattered all over the yard, some half buried in the loose, barren topsoil. I remember my dad always made me paint it every summer, and I'd pitch a huge fit because I hated it. Working in 110-degree temperatures with scratchy bramble getting stuck in my pads, not to mention the dirt on the paintbrush. Dad was never happy with how it turned out anyway. He'd yell at me for laziness and doing a poor job. He claimed I had no aptitude for work, first placing the blame on me playing too many video games, then Leo. People are supposed to have a sense of satisfaction in their work, but every moment away from an escapist diversion seemed to make me miserable. I'd coop myself up in my room with a big-ass plug-in fan, watching TV, daydreaming about fictional guys, and eating just an absurd amount of cereal. I sigh as I walk over an old plot where Mom's garden used to be. According to City Hall, this place is abandoned and condemned now. I step up to the window of my old bedroom, squinting through the dusty glass and spying the familiar turquoise shag carpet inside. All the furniture's gone, and spiderwebs hang from every corner. There's some graffiti on the wall as well, a gang sign or something that looks like a crooked red number 8. Seeing it, I'm left with a feeling of unease, like the sanctity of what was once mine has been taken away. I don't exactly pine for the days of being stuck in there. But there's this overwhelming pang of awareness that those times have passed and are never coming back. The worries I had growing up are gone, and replaced by these visceral, very adult concerns about money, jobs, debt. And I'll never have a group of friends like I did back then. A sharp whistle breaks my train of thought. I spin around to see the silhouette of 2 figures up on the hill overlooking the house. Leo and Jenna. After a moment, TJ walks up next to them and waves.
Hi, Chase!
I lift my paw up, offering a limp wave in return. Next thing I know, TJ is making his way down the slope, Leo right behind him. Jenna follows shortly after.
Chase! It's good to see you again!
The lynx looks tired, all things considered. The tips of his fur tinged with the orangish dirt of the area. Still, he's beaming at me regardless. It's good to see you too, actually. TJ cocks his head.
Actually?
I blink. Yeah, what do you mean by that, Alter? Leo has a stern voice, his eyes hard upon me.
I mean... you know what I mean.
A smirk appears at the edge of the wolf's muzzle, and he steps up to me, slugging my shoulder with enough force to sting a bit.
Well, astonishingly, it's good to see you as well.
I wince a bit from the blow. Leo reaches over and ruffles my head fur.
Sorry.
He grins a little awkwardly. He seems cheery, overall. It's hard to believe he's the same Leo that just yesterday I was hiding in a bathroom cupboard from. I try not to look too tense. Next time, hit him harder. Jenna gives me an edged look, though there's warmth to her eyes.
Jenna.
She looks me over, then glances toward the road. I'm surprised you didn't drive.
We found a picnic table in one of the yards of the abandoned houses. We set it up over there.
He points to the base of the hill slope, where, sure enough, an old wooden picnic table sits. And TJ was okay with this? Blinks frowns, digging his toes into the dirt.
Well, as long as we put it back when we're done.
You're becoming quite the rebel, TJ. I manage to smile at him. He looks slightly aghast, though Leo chuckles. We should put the hot dogs on the grill now. The bacon won't take as long. Jenna turns, making her way over to the table. Beside it is a green, portable propane grill, like the sort you use for camping trips. On top of the grill are a couple of Ziploc bags. We're going to grill up these fancy pepper jack hot dogs we got in Peyton, and some applewood smoked bacon. That sounds good. We even got some tofu dogs for Carl. Just like old times, yeah? I hope we've gotten better at cooking since then. But, where's Carl? Leo shrugs, TJ chiming in.
Maybe he slept in? It's kind of early. For him, I mean.
We make our way toward Jenna. Leo's tail wags slightly as he walks. I set my gear down and peer at the table. The thing is dirty as hell, probably over a decade of dust and weather etched into the wood and metal. I can't remember what neighbor this belonged to. Over the years, there were so many. Usually hippies or retirees seeking to get away from the hustle and bustle of urban, and even suburban, living. Most became rather disillusioned with the idea of Echo being some lovely desert escape after about a month of living here, though. I glance up at Leo. He looks back at me. He's taking the hot dogs out of the packaging and getting them set up on the grill. The wolf doesn't say anything, and neither do I. He keeps making the same faintly awkward smile whenever I look at him too long. TJ and Jenna have sat down at the table and are digging through a weathered backpack. Jenna takes out some paper plates, setting out a small stack and weighing them down with a rock so they don't blow away.
That seems kind of unhygienic.
Don't worry, we won't eat off that one. She looks up and over at me. We'll just give it to Chase. TJ frowns and shakes his head. I sigh, furrowing my brow some. Look, I'm sorry I haven't been around much this whole trip. I kind of regret it too. Really? The Fennec responds with a tone of feigned surprise, though when we lock eyes, she seems to waver some. She crosses her arms over her tank-topped chest, looking down, then back up again. It's okay. It's been an interesting few days for us. I raise a brow inquisitively. Yeah? Same here. Jenna smiles some in an apologetic fashion, and I move to sit next to her. TJ reaches into the bag and holds up a few bottles of condiments to me.
We've got jalapeno ketchup, relish, spicy mustard, and a baggie of chopped onions.
Sounds delicious, TJ. Yes, I know, it's a spice overload, but it was to appease Leo's iron palate. Hearing his name, Leo waves at us. You know, I read an article once that people who like spicy foods have masochistic tendencies. Jenna rolls her eyes, glancing to Leo, then back to me. Only you could confirm that in Leo's case. As for the article, yes, I've heard that before. It's pop psychology and based off of survey statistics. What about me? One of Leo's ears flicks a point in our direction. Chase was just telling us about your masochistic tendencies. Leo stops what he's doing, looking at us with slightly widened eyes. My what?
Oh, God.
I cover my face with my paw.
Tsk, I wouldn't say I'm into that. You shouldn't be talking about people behind their back, Chula.
He says this teasingly, stretching out some aluminum foil on the grill and placing the strips of bacon on it. Someone should have told you that earlier. You've been talking about Chase non-stop this week. Leo stiffens some, then tries to laugh it off.
What? Was just worried about him. You know, I mean...
He looks to me. With Flynn...
with Flynn being all unstable and cheat.
TJ flinches at the swearing. I'm surprised the lynx was unperturbed during the masochism talk. Maybe he doesn't know what that is? I rub my arm apprehensively, peering at Jenna. What sort of stuff was he saying about me? Jenna looks in that wry way she does when she finds herself in a position of advantage over Leo. Leo looks at her, anxious.
Nothing bad, Doctor. I bit my neck.
Maybe it's best if you two find some time to talk alone today. The Finnick looks at Leo as if having delivered an act of supreme mercy. Leo, in turn, looks grateful, keenly aware he has become indebted by the act. Right. We were planning on that anyway, I think. Jenna just nods. Good.
You all need to stop distracting the cook here.
Jeez, can you... Past the sizzling of the grill, the clops of hooves on dirt becomes audible. DJ cranes his neck some to peer past Leo, then smiles.
Carl! And, oh, hi.
Yo.
Alright. Carl immediately plops himself down at the table across from me, the ram rubbing his eyes with his fists. Daxton, meanwhile, lingers at the end. His eyes are on me, as if waiting for something. Oh, hey, Daxton. I didn't know you were coming. Carl invited me. I wasn't really doing much else today. I put on a smile, but seeing the two just sorta reminds me all of last night. Good to meet you. I'm Jenna. Jenna offers a quick nod. Meanwhile, TJ seems to bolt up, offering a paw to the tall salamander.
Hi, I'm TJ. It's good to meet a friend of Carl's.
Daxton looks a little surprised, shaking TJ's paw before looking back to me. He still has that same expectant expression on his face.
Daxton? Flynn's roommates, right?
Leo strolls up beside him, spatula in grasp. Said roommate, yeah. Wait, you look familiar? Leo squints.
You the Vespa guy?
Daxton looks back toward the road. Yeah, I drive a Vespa. Why? Leo lets out a humored noise, rubbing his brow with his free paw as he grins.
You came to my dad's shop about the oil leak in that thing.
Daxton blinks in realization. Oh, Alvarez Auto up in Peyton? Yeah, I went there.
That thing was a damn nightmare. At first, I thought you were just using the wrong type of oil, since that's the most common reason. People don't know they got to use motorcycle oil, which leaves the transmission, gears, valves, and all that. Plus, it's less thick. But the thing was still leaking. So next I drained the overflow tube on the airbox and troubleshooted. Took me about 2 hours until I figured that it had to do with the piston rings being worn out. Problem is, your little ride's a damn special overseas import, yeah? There's no place that has the replacement parts you needed for at least 7,000 miles. I inherited it from my uncle in the old country. I guess that's why it took so long. Yeah. Can't say I'd ever worked on a machine like that prior to you, so thanks for the experience. Like I was saying, my dad owns the place. I'm Leo Alvarez. Leo extends out a paw, though with less gusto than TJ.
Leo?
I see Daxton's gaze flick to me, his lips pulling a bit tighter on his smooth face. He takes the paw, shaking it. Leo perks a brow.
Judging by the look on your face, you heard of me.
A wee bit.
All good, I hope?
Leo smiles lopsidedly. Not really, but whatever. The response elicits a collective irk from most of us. The salamander withdraws his hand and Leo looks a little gobsmacked.
Your roommate's Flynn, so I guess that's to be expected.
Daxton shrugs, then moves to sit at the table next to me. Chase, if you've got a minute, could we talk later? Sure. The salamander looks grateful, but doesn't elaborate further. Leo, meanwhile, stands there rotating the spatula in his paws with his eyes on the dirt. After a moment, he turns, heading back to the grill with an expression on his face that I can't quite make out. Jenna props her chin up with her paw, smiling faintly at Daxton. Wow. What? Nothing, just musing out loud. Where are you from, Daxton? The salamander rests his hands on the table, rubbing his thumbs together. I've been living here in Echo for a year or two. Before that, I was in Colville, where I grew up.
Ugh.
Jenna stops smiling. Colville? Really? What? Why? What's wrong with Colville?
Everything, dude.
Colville. Isn't that the place with the lampposts that have little cowboy hats on top of them?
Oh yeah, they have the cobblestone streets there. I went there for a field trip once.
That place is too rich, even for me.
They put up those creepy, smiling native mannequins on the sidewalks as decorations, like it isn't grossly offensive noting its history. Oh yeah, they shot that one big Western film there. The one with Jack Gillahue searching for some family's daughter that got abducted by the Meseta. The town sort of rode off the fame of that movie for the past 40 years. From what it seems like. Daxton looks at all of us, crossing his arms tightly over his chest. It hasn't been doing as well as it used to. Westerns aren't exactly as big as they used to be. It's kind of a shame that... It's not really a surprise noting how tasteless most of them were. Carl shifts in his seat a bit awkwardly. TJ speaks up.
Speaking of Old West stuff, how goes the project, Chase? Leo said you couldn't hang out with us because you were working on it.
Jenna reaches into the backpack and pulls out a notebook, laying it out in front of her. We were bored at the motel, so we did some research ourselves. If you want to discuss your findings, that is. I feel a little put on the spot, mainly since most of what I've done so far has been shooting B-roll.
Apparently, my house used to be a castle.
A castle?
Yeah, I looked up Carl's house at City Hall. The record showed this big medieval-looking place. There was some sort of collapse in 1915.
Living in a castle would be pretty cool. Not that I need more space, but you get what I mean.
House Hendrix, the Lords of Echo. I would watch that show.
Would probably have too much sex and violence for you, man.
I truly doubt there would be much of the former with you on it. Carl lets out a little snicker before drifting his gaze to the sizzling grill nearby. Even Daxon seems to smirk a bit.
If you say so.
JJ flinches at the lewd talk and Jenna quickly shifts her tone. Continue, Chase. Well, that's the thing. Carlo's ancestors founded the town, but I think Flynn's family are the ones who mainly controlled it during the 20th century. There's tons of more names in the records for leadership positions.
We were too busy making ice cream, I guess. Speaking of, I'm starving. How much longer, man?
He calls out to Leo, the wolf looking over his shoulder.
Unless you want your hot dogs medium rare, just a bit longer, yeah?
Jenna waves off the boy's banter, speaking to me again. That's strange, noting Flynn's species. Reptilians weren't readily trusted by a majority society in this country until relatively recently. I shrug. I'm not sure whether it's relevant to what I'm trying to cover. I mean, I haven't been able to find anything about the initial 1877 hysteria event. It's like all those files are just gone. I pause, chewing my lower lip as I remember something. There were some legal documents I found, concerning the mine? I don't know, but go on. There was mention of some sort of messed up murder happening in the mine in 1915 that somehow resulted in a riot. No mention was made of the 1877 hysteria event, though. Jenna pulls her notes up, her eyes bouncing left and right as she speed reads. That's interesting. You mentioned that year earlier, 1915? The census record shows there was a large drop of population between 1910 and 1920. I couldn't find any economic justification for it, since the mine continued to operate and the railroad lines still serviced Echo. Daxon holds up his hand. So, sorry, I'm trying to catch up with what you guys are trying to figure out here. Are you saying these mine murders caused Echo to lose all its people? The correlations do not imply causation, but this is for Chase's video report, not an academic paper. You know how it is. Being interesting is more important than being thorough.
Your piece should be called Top 10 Reasons Echo Depopulated from Evil Mine Murder. You won't believe number 2. Throw some boobs up on the thumbnail image and post it on the Pueblo website.
I frown. I'm used to hearing how the internet age has made modern journalism sort of like a joke now. But it still stings. This isn't for the website or anything. This is just a class project.
Then it matters even less, dude. You're not even getting paid. Hell, you're paying them thousands. That should give you some slack.
I need to build up my portfolio because right now all it has is a fluff piece about the Pueblo GSA's Pride concert.
You've still got a few more days, Chase. It isn't like you can't do your project and hang out with us at the same time.
Dexton looks a tad hangdog, speaking up from beside me. I hope I'm not imposing on y'all's reunion time. I'll see what I can do. And you're fine, Jackson. The thought strikes me that tomorrow's the day Flynn plans to question TJ. I don't think anyone will be in much of a hanging out mood after that. Maybe I should warn him? After yesterday, I don't know if I should give a damn what Flynn wants. But maybe that's too harsh. Maybe I just don't want to think about him right now. I hear the sound of heavy footsteps on soil, and the wafting smell of cooking meat fills my nose. Glancing up, Leo's standing over me. He holds out a pair of tongs with a plate of bacon and hot dogs. Bones and booze are in the cooler. As if rehearsed, Jenna picks up a small plastic cooler from beside the table. She rips open the packaging and distributes the buns accordingly.
Is it just alcohol in there?
TJ sounds disappointed.
I got you some juice pouches, Tej. Don't you worry.
Yay! Thank you!
He smiles appreciatively. Daxton seems to peer curiously at the links before taking a hot dog for himself. Leo looks a bit reluctant toward Daxton.
You guys, eat meat?
Daxton's already absolutely covering his hot dog with ketchup.
By you guys, you mean salamanders?
Leo nods. I finally get a bun and begin to assemble my hot dog, wrapping it in bacon. Yep, we eat meat. My grandpa used to say that you should never trust somebody who doesn't. Carl looks up. Except for Carl. He's cool and trustworthy as all hell. The ram tries to force a tofu dog into his maw to hide the big smile forming on his muzzle. Jenna looks at them curiously, waiting for TJ to finish placing relish on his cut-up, bunless hot dog. Carl swallows, speaking up finally.
I guess, your grandpa's at least half wise, dude, man.
Daxton shakes his head. No, not really. It was a major speciesist and hated Jews. TJ chokes on his juice a little and Jenna pats his back a few times.
Heh, whose grandpas didn't?
TJ stares at them furrow-browed and wide-eyed.
Mine!
Boys. Jenna gives us a look, speaking in that same old maternal tone she's been using since she was 10. I merely shake my head. Leo comes around and sits at the remaining spot at the end of the table.
Chase!
I look up, quickly finishing my bite of bacon. That's my name.
Was gonna ask you earlier. I got my speakers set up, hooked to my playlist on my phone. Pick us out some music, will ya?
He gestures to a pill pod looking thing with his phone sticking out of it near the grill. Any guidelines?
See out of the sample music folder.
He smirks. What a callback. I rise to my feet and head over to the speaker. I pick it up and squint at the phone screen, the overhead sun casting quite a glare. I see a few playlists on here. Which one should I pick? Cousin Angel's Rock? Okay, let's see. From the top. Hip Hop and Chill Mix. Cousin Angel's Rock EP. Pop Summer Jams Club / Beach Playlist. Hip Hop and Chill.
Let's listen to his cousin Angel's stuff. Huh? Not super high quality, but it'll work. That's my cousin's Bond. Pretty good, yeah?
It reminds me of Cherry Bloom, back when they were still in their garage band days.
I find myself smirking a bit. TJ and Cherry Bloom are like Daxton and an Astra. Lynx pushes himself to his feet.
Good choice, Chase.
They're okay, I guess. Leo reaches into the cooler and grabs a spare bottle of hard lemonade. He makes his way over, handing one bottle to me and keeping one for himself. I give Leo a grateful nod, hitting the bottle top against the edge of the grill to get the cap off. Unfortunately, the top just shatters, splaying shattered glass on the ground.
Christ!
Leo just laughs, taking a swig of his own drink. Well, I suppose with that little gesture, it's dancing time. Jenna stands up as well. I'm not sure if this is her type of music, but she begins swaying to the beat regardless.
Aren't you supposed to do that for a new boat?
I'm still eating! Next thing you know, Leo's popping his shoulders up and rolling his arms. Leo used to be great at dancing, but that was when he was 4 inches shorter and 40 pounds thinner. He's kind of giving me a dad at a cookout vibes, which in turn is starting to give me a mild midlife crisis by proxy. TJ soon joins in, the Lynx doing some basic shuffles. I look down at my feet. Fuck it. I'm an otter, right? Natural entertainer. We got a Dax. Oh, it can't dance with Daxton. Let's give Leo some love. We haven't done that in a while. I'm not sure if it's exactly safe to drink out of a bottle with a broken cap, but I might as well try. The cuts in my throat will make the alcohol work quicker, right? After avoiding Leo for the past day, it might be best to not ignore him right now. I'm still wary as hell about the way Leo has been acting and embarrassed over my own behavior. But he's still Leo, and he's the closest I've got to another person. Plus, somebody needs to stop him from doing that lawnmower move for the 8th time in a row. He spots me walking toward him, and his whole face seems to light up. Otter! Leo? Dance with me? I smile lopsidedly. Somebody has to. I can feel the other's eyes upon me as Leo and I move a little closer together. I keep things simple, doing some basic 2 steps with a rolling up my waist, no gimmick moves. Leo begins to catch on and does the same. We've done this before, after all. Leo dragged me to every prom, junior prom, and homecoming dance there was. Haters be damned. I wasn't much for those sorts of things, but he was the varsity football guy. So by unwritten high school law, he was expected to go to those things. We still good to talk later? Yeah. Sounds good. Leo's gaze drifts past me toward the table. He's quiet for a moment, simply moving to the rhythm. Hey. Do you remember when we... It takes me a moment, but my eyes widen and I feel my neck begin to burn. Oh, God! Hey, you were the one who insisted putting ketchup on it. Should have put that jalapeno ketchup on it. Leo smiles cheekily. Wouldn't bother me. I'm the spicy Latino, remember?
He rumbles some.
The look on your face when I could barely fit it in the bone.
Now my cheeks are absolutely burning. Man, you jerk.
Whose idea was it again? My crotch smelled like a concession stand for a week.
It's not my fault you don't know how to properly wash.
Says Mr. Muskie himself.
I let out a large puff of air. It feels just like when we were a couple. And that's the scary part. My mind reels back to Leo's confrontations with Flynn these past few days, his violent behavior. I take a step back, clearing my throat. Let's just dance, okay?
I hear ya.
We continue on, and it feels like just an hour passes.